President Ibrahim Traore, the President of Africa. King Ibrahim Traore.
Either we are sovereign or we remain slaves forever. This is another inspiring and electrifying speech by President Ibrahim Traore, where he discussed the challenges posed by imperialism in Burkina Faso and Africa as a whole, and how it can be tackled once and for all. He explained the deep-rooted issues within Burkina Faso and why he made the decision to ask foreign forces to leave in 2023. Traore asserted Burkina Faso's determination to fight against this imperialism and terrorism, highlighting the reorganization and reinforcement of the army. Once again, it is inspiring and uplifting. Listen to it all the way to the end and stay inspired. The African narrative is changing. The time is now. We cannot make a revolution without communicating. Some will say that we should not speak too much, but when we do not speak, then it is the manipulation that takes the lead. Understand something. The father of the revolution communicated a lot. I am talking here about Thomas Sankara. In one of his speeches, he said that imperialism is a bad student. When he left the classroom, he always came back. And I remember that at his address to his friends from ECOWAS, he said that, to break the umbilical cord that binds us to imperialism, do not look for a state magician with pointed fingers and a sharp scissor to break this cord. But rather, you will need a robust butcher with a sharp axe to give a dry blow and break the cord. That being said, I am going to explain to you a little how imperialism behaves. After the assassination of the father of the revolution, the regime that wanted imperialism was established. In the 90s, you all remember a program that was imposed on us, the Structural Adjustment Program. It was a plan. Let me explain. By setting up this program in our countries, you have noticed that over the next 2 decades, all our factories that were in place have been privatized. Our economy has been restructured. They did set up a neo-colonial system, a system of wild capitalism that only benefits the leaders and their friends, a restricted circle. On the side of the forces, they did everything to destructure our armies. They decided to lower the budget of the armies, to no longer equip them. Our armies were reduced to nothing. During this time, the great countries like Niger and Mali have experienced a resurgence of what they called rebellions. Separatists from nowhere have tried to divide this country. They have not succeeded. But the outcome of their plan was that from 2010, that is 20 years later, terrorism invaded our lands. Individuals were chosen and they were told to go and fight them. Their armies are destructured. We have worked for this to happen. They will never be able to stop you and you will impose on them what we want. These individuals have recruited innocent, ignorant young people from different countries to whom they inject drugs and bring them to kill their compatriots. And evil is born. How were these individuals entertained? Do not forget, here in Burkina Faso, we hosted terrorist leaders. It was well planned. And how did it happen that when these terrorists were going to launch, there was someone who could perhaps intervene in favor of our states? I call here General Muammar Gaddafi. He had to be eliminated. And one fine day, they came upon him. They had the ingenious idea of putting all sorts of weapons and ammunition at the disposal of these terrorists who had to destructure our sub-region. The plan was perfect, and from then on, they started a battle order. They started to descend to the south. We still remember when the regime in place in Bamako at the time called on foreign forces. It did not take more than a few hours for them to deploy. They were well prepared. They deployed and pretended to stop the terrorism. And immediately, we saw the deployment of several foreign forces in Mali for 10 years. During these 10 years when the terrorism was contained in the north, it was invited to the south, and Burkina Faso was infested from 2015. Everything was well planned and well thought out. I still remember when we were in Berd, in the north of Timbuktu. We saw special forces from those countries coming to take us deeper. And when they returned, they were all red. They had small drilling machines and many other geological equipment that we can see. We wondered where they got this red. As a patrol around Berd, we don't have red. Maybe they were digging. They were probing. We don't know what it was about. The Malian sky no longer belonged to the Malians. Everything was well thought out. When the people who were fighting on the ground also made the observation, they decided at some point to take responsibility, and they came out of nowhere. They called us putschists. We are not French. We don't understand what that means. And the local valets, who surely don't understand the deep meaning of the word, also call us putschists. Very well, we'll take it. Over the years, as far as Burkina Faso is concerned, you must have noticed that all the corps were destructed. No more training, nothing for the army. They imposed in all our major states, all our schools, and all our strategic structures what they called military councils. When we revolted on September 30th, 2022, the first thing was to find out who these military councils were and where they were. So we were able to identify that the evil was deep, and the first thing was to ask them to leave our army. They left. And what I told you not long ago, you can't hope to find your lost object by calling on those who stole it to come and help you find it. It was then necessary to decide, to take courageous decisions. What we decided to do, it was not without consequences, because when we already asked the party councillors, we felt manifestations. We were made to understand that we would not be able to get by without them. And every time they told us, it resulted in massive attacks on the ground. We received the message well. When in 2023, we decided to tell the foreign forces present here to leave, because we want to fight in Burkina Faso. They did not surely appreciate it. But why come and die on our land for us? We prefer to fight ourselves. We asked them to return home. Unfortunately, I tell you here today, as I like to say, colonization has returned. There are slaves of the salons who still have not understood. In the meantime, military officers wrote to us and approached us to tell us that it was a very bad decision and that we would not last 2 months. Files were written. These files were sent to us to make a strategic analysis of their thoughts. We said, either we are sovereign or we remain slaves forever. Indeed, when the last soldier left Burkina Faso, we understood what it was about. The attacks followed immediately. DU, Tinakov, Partiagar, and so on. But what they had forgotten was that the people of Burkina Faso had understood our message and had engaged in the same way as us. We reorganized quickly, and suddenly we noticed that all the sleeping terrorists had woken up in Burkina Faso. We reorganized the army as quickly as possible. We created several units. And even if several others are yet to come, we equipped them. And today, this equipment continues. Because in the days to come, in the months to come, what you are going to see in Burkina Faso must make our army a power to fear. We are not going to hesitate about the means. We have understood that the fight against imperialism will be hard, very hard, but only the hard ones will pass. And the Burkinabés are hard, and we are going to pass.
Thank you very much and welcome back. It has been some days when I was outside this palace, and now here I am. And today I'm not gonna talk too much, but just want to react on a little bit about the speech, the very great, strong and intelligent speech that has been issued by the King of Africa, Captain Ibrahim Traore. Welcome back and stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Kenyan Explorer here. We are at this is the place to be. Of course, the dreams brings back the reality. Brings back the reality. And for you, for that way that you have taken and decided to to take, so for you to achieve something that you were thinking of, or something, so for you to take where you want to make your steps, and if and you find yourself that you have the history of what you are fighting for or what you are against of, then it can be very easier for you to achieve what you are planning. And that's what and that's why Ibrahim Traore started by the history, and by recognizing the presence of Thomas Sankara. Why Ibrahim Traore, anytime he started to give out his speech, he normally used or like to mention Thomas Sankara, because Thomas Sankara was the father of freedom and was the mentor, and he was the founder of what Ibrahim Traore is trying to do today or in recent days. Ibrahim Traore started by the key facts as why he decided to chase out the white imperialist from his country. And if you have listened carefully, keenly to his speech, there are some facts and there are some very important issue and keys that you have heard him mentioning or talking about. Then, what do this means? We have leaders in our countries. They know the history, where their countries came from, where their nations, where their citizens and common citizens, where they came from. They know where the freedom came from. They know where it all started before it came to where they are and where they have found it is easier for them to just enjoy the power they are enjoying today. If any of our leaders, our current leaders, could thinking about the history of their countries, the history of their pioneers, their forefathers, how they declined to fight out, to stand up and fight, to reclaim what belongs to them, then our countries could have in a very best position as per now, and every citizen, every common citizen could be enjoying the freedom of his country or her country. But now, when you want to restore what you have lost, you cannot ask someone who have already who has been among those who stole what you are looking for and ask him to help you to restore what you are looking for. That's what our leaders are doing today. The white supremacists is the reason as why we African countries were colonized. And the same whites today, supremacists, the same European countries or their governments are the one today engaged in our governments, pretending that they are in a very high position of helping us. But behind this, they are taking a big portions of our economies and our resources. And after all, leaving us with nothing to benefit ourselves. When Ibrahim Traore decided to chase out these white supremacists and these white French soldiers, he invested in his armies, in his country's security. And now today, Burkina Faso's army or security is one of the fiercest security in Western regions. During this time of colonization, we as black people never had the chance to access chances of job opportunities in their governments. We never have the chance they never recognized us as the human beings because we were black. The black people were not considered because they were black people. We were not considered as the human being during their regime. And now, we have decided that we don't need your help. We don't need your help. We can depend on ourselves. We don't need you. You have to go back where you belong. You have to go back to your countries. But now, when we say so, we became the enemies. If you believe that you are helping us, if you believe that we are depending on you that so much, and we are the dependents, we say that, okay, it's enough. we are satisfied for what you have done for to us, and now we believe that we can stand by ourselves, and we don't need your help. Why don't you just go by peace? Why don't you just go in peace? Why is it that there must be a quarrel and fight between if we say that we don't need you? During the time the French militaries have been in Burkina Faso, there was a lot of security threats in this country, but there is no day a French military came in to solve or settle the matter. But they claim that they are in their countries for help, for security purpose. What are you securing if you cannot engage in a fight and in any disaster or security issues when it arises to the place that you are? Their governments only equipped their soldiers with the fighting equipment, breaking down the military of the country of Burkina Faso. And now Ibrahim Traore has clearly said that we are okay, we don't need you, and that brings a lot of tension. They felt like now they are finished. So the question is, between we and you, who is benefiting from other and who is depending from the other? Then if you believe that we are the one depending on you as black, then why is it that if we say that we don't need your support, we don't need your help, you can go and we have to stand by yourself? It become something that's very hard. It's something that looks so complicated. Why is it that it is something ununderstandable? Sometimes in life, you have to take risk, the high chances of risk, just to make you complete your mission and achieve your vision of your dreams. That is what Ibrahim Traore did by sending away the military troops from the French and anyone who don't belong to Burkina Faso, and that has bring a lot of change in the country. That has bring a lot of achievement and a lot of development from the common citizen. For whatever you have to do, that you feel like it is going to be of more importance to you or to any people who is about the same, then you have to take risk and sacrifice for you to achieve your dreams. That's why I started by saying that history is very important in any humankind. In any human being, history is very good. If you can use your history, then you can achieve without using great force, but just using a little mind. In today's life, even if you are born in a family that has been not well up, or the family that is just struggling to survive, then that is your history. When you grow up, you will growing up knowing that history of your family is not good. Then you have to fight and use your last and fight until your last drop, so as you become the reason, you become the only one who can save your family through the dreams that you have during the time of your growth. And from the history of your family, then it can help you a lot in achieving your dreams. That's why Ibrahim Traore today, his name is sounding of a great vision leader. The history and the speech that has been made by the King of Africa, he has talked a lot. And he started by saying that that they say that we talk a lot. Yes, of course we talk a lot, and we have to talk. We have to talk more and more. If we can't talk, then no one can hear our vision. No one can hear our interest. We have to talk. We have to talk. And through talking, by talking, we always spread positivity, and we raise our concerns, we raise our issues, and we believe that there are some who are receiving this interest of ours. And by this way, we believe that we are changing in a very high percentage, and we are changing, and our vision and our perspectives are already in a process, in a high process. And that's why we are seeing some leaders in some countries at least they are trying to follow our Burkinabe way. They are trying to follow Ibrahim Traore's way. Why? Because that's the only way. Everyone is wishing and willing to. That's the only way that can bring change and shape the countries of Africa, that can change and shape and bring back the originality of Africa, because Africa were not born or were not created to be the losers or to be the hopeless, but to be the winner and the greatest. So, as I said earlier, I had not to talk much in this video, because much has been raised, and much a concern has been raised by the leader through the speech that we have been listening to. So let's join hands together as Africans and support our leaders who had the good visions, and who has the visions and interests, who are concerned about the interests of their citizens. When we can join hands and be in full support and be behind the leaders of our vision, then we can take our countries and our state and our continent of Africa in a place where it is supposed to be, where it, and give its flower and what it deserves. Let's discuss in the comment section. Your commentary is highly appreciated. By pressing subscription button, I will be highly appreciate. I will appreciate you 35 times. So don't forget to subscribe. At least join the partnership, join the membership. Tell me where maybe I have gone, or maybe I've talked or say something which is not of importance. Maybe you can tell me, because we are just talking and bringing to the table different ideas as to why and what we can do as Africans to achieve what we are dreaming of. Until next episode, don't forget to subscribe. Kenyan Explorer here. This is the place to be. Stay tuned until next episode.